It's actually all I do with my life. So better be good. That'd be good, right? That'd be good. Oh man, I've got a fucking step ladder, look at this.
Another step.
Another step.
Yeah. Oh, one more, there you go. There's another step there.
I'll stand on the other step, I'm afraid I have.
One more step.
You better not.
Higher, higher. Someone supports him. Yeah, I'll hold it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, if you want to make it That's too low down.
Sargon, smile for the camera.
Can you hear me? Fucking hell, we've become the kind of assholes who stand out protesting with megaphones. Look at this.
What have you done? Mega free speech. I was on YouTube one moment, look where we are now.
I know, right? And the thing is, I've got a speech that's pretty fucking serious as well, unfortunately.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, right? No, I agree, fuck me, honestly. Yeah.
How would it make you?
Exactly, I'm now going to have to get out here and give you a fucking serious little talk because we're all standing here, we're having a laugh. But this isn't fucking funny, is it? No. You know?
No. There's no joke.
This should not be happening. Why the fuck are we criminalising a comedian?
I can't, this is just for the volume shit, man.
Right, okay, how's that? Is that better? Yeah. Right, okay. Right. Fucking hell.
They're coming for you.
See, now I'm fucking nervous. I've never given a fucking important speech in front of so many goddamn people who are all staring at me. So, go easy.
No pressure.
Right. So there's a question on everyone's lips.
Oh God. Ah.
This question is so controversial that just asking it is to brand yourself. It's to brand it. It's this fucking megaphone, mate.
Please start from the beginning. I can't put this in.
Yeah, well.
Put your microphone in front of the microphone.
Right. Oh, that's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll start this again.
Reduce.
And we'll do it in my time as well, so you gotta wait.
Okay, shared. Go ahead.
Right. So there is a question on everyone's lips. This question is so controversial that just asking it is to brand yourself an outsider, a dissident, and a rogue. The question is about one of the most controversial speeches ever given in this country. It's a question with implications so grave that some consider it a monstrous thing even to think about. The question Silence. The question is, was Enoch Powell right?
Yes.
The short answer is, how many stabbings make a river? Yeah. Well, you've got to answer it. But the long answer is the answer to one politically incorrect line that Powell was quoting from one of his constituents. In this country, in 15 or 20 years' time, the black man will have the whip hand over the white man. I notice you've all gone fucking silent after I said that. Fucking told you. As we have seen, to the eternal disgrace of the government's handling of the Windrush scandal, This has not happened. But something similar has. Our black Commonwealth cousins who came here 50 years previously have integrated very well because they have come here to be British. Powell's constituent was right to worry, but as the events have shown in the recent furor of police indifference to a British lady called Janaya English, even being black is no defence. The British government did not place the whip into the hand of the black man. It placed it into the hand of anyone who proudly declared themselves to be anything but British. Our institutions are obsequious to any identity that stands apart from our own, so that when Janaya received death threats for criticising Islam, the police told her this could be avoided by keeping her mouth shut. And like any British person should, instead of being cowed in the face of tyranny, Janaya stood up to be counted among the ranks of those of us who could endure this no more. All of this is a question of identity and values, because the former is defined by the latter. The British identity is grounded in our ancient traditions of liberty and tolerance, and all other identities that we exist in this country must also be so. We did not need black people or Muslims to have ethnic tensions in this country. This country is built on ethnic tensions 1,000 years old between the English, the Irish, the Scots and the Welsh and all the subdivisions thereof.
Absolutely, yes. Fuck yes.
Yeah, you're not bringing anything new here when you come over going, oh, well, I was something different. Yeah, we know. These tensions synthesized themselves into a British creed that all identities, all beliefs are permissible, and it is the harm that is punishable, and that harm can only be done by action and not by words.
Actions speak louder than words.
These identities and values matter. It was the identity of Muslim that allowed the men who formed grooming gangs to enact religiously sanctioned campaign of assaults against children, targeted for their ethnic characteristics. White and Sikh girls were targeted because they fell outside of the Muslim identity and therefore warranted no moral consideration. What the men convicted of these crimes did falls directly in line with our definition of a hate crime, and yet they were not charged as such.
Double shame!
It is one rule for one and another rule for another.
No rules for some.
This is not an acceptable state of affairs in a liberal democracy. All citizens should be treated without distinction by the state. In order to fulfill Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of a world where people are judged by the content of their character. To do anything else is to encourage the proliferation of nefarious elements in society. People who earn their stations in life through means other than hard work and decency. It confers on a certain group a set of privileges not enjoyed by the rest. This will breed resentment of the kind that eventually brings out guillotines.
Yes.
Hate speech laws are incubating something very dark and very angry in this country. Tommy Robinson is not a racist, he is a warning. Every time I meet Tommy Robinson and we walk around the streets, you see the same thing. Rough, working class men spy him, they look around, and when they think they're in the clear, they go up to him and shake his hand and say thank you for everything you are doing, and then walk away like nothing happened. This happens multiple times when I see him. This is a problem. This is what happens when people are treated like second-class citizens. These people are not racists, but they are reacting to the perceived source of their oppression. It is not that the government has criminalized racism through the combined zealotry of the political class, but not just that, in fact, that they have criminalized legitimate criticism of an ideology that is not liberal, not tolerant, and places itself in direct opposition to the identity of the British. But they have gone even further than this, and they have now criminalized humour. Ron Liddell made a joke about the Welsh in the Sunday Times, about how a bridge across the Severn connects Wales to the First World. A very good joke. This aroused the ire of the North Wales Crime Commissioner and numerous other plaid Cymru idiots with cries of hate speech.
Build a wall instead.
The politically correct inquisition against Ron Liddell shows us that we can no longer even have banter between the constituent ethnicities of the British Isles. And if we let this continue, the United Kingdom is lost. Ethnic jokes serve one purpose: to diffuse ethnic tensions by normalizing the differences between ethnicities. If we are not free to offend one another, we are not free to make the kind of ethnic jokes that strengthen the social fabric of this country. Without the freedom to offend, we create a series of armed camps, each watching the others for any signs of transgression, both obsessed with defending the honor of their respective tribe. This can only divide a country by setting us apart from one another and making us strangers to our neighbours. We need the banter to keep ourselves grounded and maintain this United Kingdom.
Yes, absolutely.
And unless we scrap all laws prohibiting insult and giving of offence, the problems we are facing will only get worse.
Yes.
Free Count Dankula, thank you.
Yeah.